So there are two kinds of random variables. The first one is the discrete random variable. This can take on distinct values or countable values. Or simply put, we obtain the data just by counting. Let's show some examples. The first one is the number of houses in a subdivision. We also have the number of students in class, the number of books in the library, the number of cars that pass by the bridge. So the following examples represent discrete random variables. And again, we obtain its data just by counting. The second kind of random variable is the continuous random variable. It can take on any value in a range or interval, or it also refers to measured data. It means that we obtain the data by measuring. Some examples are presented to you here. We have the weight of newborn babies. An example of the unit measure for us to determine the weight of newborn babies is in kilograms. The second example is the speed of a car. And this can be determined by getting the distance covered over time. Next is we have the amount of sugar in a cup of coffee. An example of this is in grams. And finally, we have here the height of trees. This can be determined in terms of feet. So again, the following examples represent continuous random variables, and we obtain its data by measuring it. Now, let's try to do some work. Get a piece of paper, and let's try to work on some examples. The number of animals in the zoo, is this discrete or continuous? Definitely, this is a discrete random variable. For us to be able to know how many animals are there, is we just have to count. The next is the amount of paint used in the house. Is this discrete or continuous? This is a continuous random variable. Because for us to be able to know how much paint do we need to paint the house, is we have to measure it. Next is we have the number of voters in an election. Is this discrete or continuous? This is a discrete random variable. Distance between two cities. Is this discrete or continuous? This is a continuous random variable because we have to measure for us to know. The average amount of electricity consumed per household per month. Is this discrete or continuous? This is a continuous random variable. Again, we need to measure for us to be able to know the average amount of electricity consumed per household per month. And the last item here is the number of tourists who came to the Philippines. Is this discrete or continuous? This is a discrete random variable. So in summary, the difference between discrete and continuous random variable is that for discrete, it is countable, and for continuous, it's measured.